So I'm Lily Israel. I graduated from Sustainable Food and Farming in 2014, and I was on the student farm at UMass. And I am now the sales manager at Kitchen Garden Farm in Sunderland.
So my
We
name
are
is Jason DePicole. I currently live in Denver, and I'm the manager of urban food programs at the Denver Botanic Gardens.
So hi, I'm Michelle. I graduated in 2016 from SFF. I'm now living in Boston where I'm doing a fellowship called the Emerson National Hunger Fellowship.
well, I knew leaving UMass that I wanted to work at a production farm, and I sort of knew things through the grapevine about the reputations of different farms in this area, just from um, being in sustainable food and farming. And 2 years out of college, a lot of my friends had already worked at various farms in the area. And so I could kind of hear about like, this farm is really awesome, or this farm, like the management is kind of a mess or whatever. And so that really guided me. And I only applied to a few farms that I had really heard good things about. And then just in general, when people are looking for farm jobs out here, I feel like CISA and their classifieds board is a really good place to look for jobs. And then just, I think what I did was go on the website of these farms that I'd heard good things about and just go to their hiring information and email the owners and see if they were looking for people.
I think using those resources like the Sustainable Food and Farming Facebook page, ComFood Jobs, Good Food Jobs, your network also, the network that you build with people who, are working on farms and in the food and farming industry, hugely helpful. But also doing your own self-reflection and then researching, okay, what organizations are in line with what I actually care about and what I want to do. And then when you start going down that path, you're going to find organizations, businesses that are doing what you want to do and who are also hiring and looking for people just like you. For some people, it can be a lot of people, it can be really hard to try to sell yourself, right? And that's kind of what you're doing when you're applying for jobs. At the same time, it's a really good opportunity to take a look at ourselves and say, you know what, in what areas am I doing really well? What do I know, right? And that can actually be like a really good confidence booster and reminder, like, hey, yeah, I am good at this. Like, I do know how to do these things. I do have these skills. And at the same time, you can say, you know what, these jobs are looking for, X, Y, Z, and I have X and Y, but not Z. So is Z something that's really important for me, in my career? Is that going to help me be better at everything else I do? Is that perhaps going to enable me to land a better job or maybe make more money or work in an organization that I really want to be at? And then you can pursue it.
I feel like the entire process, start to finish, of applications is like anywhere from 6 to 8 months, because you want to give enough time to your professors to write recommendation letters. You want to give enough time to reach out to professors you're potentially interested in working with and whose research is really interesting to you or aligns with you. And then you want to give enough time to like actually craft your applicant statement. And so I think all three of those like deserve proper attention and time. And I think the other thing is like what I learned was you can't let your feelings get hurt, because I reached out to some professors and they just never answered me, and it's like professors are busy, they're not always accepting students. And so some people are going to reach out and they're going to be so excited about your interests, they're going to be so excited to connect with you, and those are the places that you would want to go, and you'll be supported in your education. My number one like tip for applying and choosing a school is finding a good supervisor, because they're like your rock the whole time you're there and support you with everything from classes to your research. I was a teaching assistant, which was really fun, but I started grad school pretty early. So I turned like 22, and then a week later, I was like thrown up in front of undergrads and had to like teach sections. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. But it was my advisor that really is like, you got this, you know, you can work through it. So I think, yeah, definitely finding a good supervisor and giving yourself enough time for all those components of the process. Yeah.
I mean, I know at Kitchen Garden, a big part of why people are hired is um, because we want to hang out with them, because like Tim and Caroline think they seem passionate and excited about it. And, at a farm, you're spending all day with the same people in really like long, grueling conditions. And so I think farms are definitely looking for people who are excited and will be able to stick it out and will just like bring themselves to the table and are interesting, excited people.
But number one, I would say do your homework for the company. Figure out what their needs are. If you can express to them that you understand what their needs are and you know how to address them, they're going to want to hire you, because that's why a company hires an employee, because hey, we have a problem, we have a deficit and we need to fill it. So if this person understands that, then they're coming in already knowing, what the point is of them being here. We don't, it's going to make the training a lot easier. And also if they understand the company's purpose, mission, its culture, that goes a long way too. So definitely do your homework on the company and figure out what is it really that they're looking for, which you have to go beyond the job description to find that out. For nonprofits, looking at the annual report can be really helpful to get like a big picture scope of what's going on. And then at the end of the interview, ask questions about the company that show that you're really thinking about, okay, how can you make the biggest impact, right? And show that you're actively engaged in what they're doing. One great question is, well, first of all, was there someone else in this position? If so, why are they no longer there? Because sometimes they're no longer there because it's a place you don't want to work. So understanding that's important for you, right? But also asking them, what in the first 6 months, like what would you like someone in this position to accomplish? It shows them that you're thinking about, the future, right? It's not just about getting the job and getting a paycheck.
Finding something with the people that are interviewing you, whether it's one person or whether it's like a panel or a group, just finding some commonality, which usually I think in our realm of work is like, wanting to end hunger, wanting to help agriculture advance sustainably. So we're among like good company, but I think trying to make personal connections with the people you're interviewing and being really prepared in terms of understanding the breadth and the depth and scope of the organization's work, and also coming prepared with your own questions for the interviewers about the job itself.
So I have a LinkedIn profile as well. For what it's worth, I think it's important to have one, especially in the job search. And I had this guy reach out to me like after I got this job, and he was like, hi, I saw your page on LinkedIn. And I was wondering if you'd be interested in managing our, 300-acre mini potato farm in Idaho. I was like, what? And he was like dead serious too. So I'm just like, it's kind of funny, like when you start to get more experience, the learning about these different like food and farming businesses that are out there. Like there's a 300-acre mini potato farm, and they want someone to run it. So whatever you want to do, like you can find a job for it. So just keep putting yourself out there and you'll find it. And if it's mini potatoes, then that's great.